Welcome to Scriptastics.com. In this tutorial video, I will be covering how to install, configure, and verify the proper installation of an Apache web server under Windows XP Professional. To get started, let's go to Apache's website, which is www.apache.org. Go to the HTTP server option here and download from a mirror. And we want to scroll down till we get to the Win32 binary, including OpenSSL MSI installer. Choose that file, save that file to your desktop. Okay, once it's done, you can clean that up, close the download window, close the web browser, and now to start the installation, we just double click on that MSI file, and that brings up our wizard. Just go ahead and hit next. Go ahead and accept the terms in the license agreement, and as you can see here, it's providing you with additional resources online so you can learn more about how to set up Apache the different ways. But for right now, let's just go ahead and hit next. And as far as the network domain name goes, just go ahead and call it localhost, and the server name localhost, and the administrator email, let's just call it admin@localhost. And for all users on port 80 as a service recommended, we're just going to go ahead and leave that option selected, which is the default port 80 for the HTTP server. Hit next. Now for the setup type, instead of typical, we want to choose custom, and we're going to go ahead and hit next. And this option here, build headers and libraries, we're just going to go ahead and install that as well for future functionality. For the installation of where we're going to install Apache, we're going to go ahead and change that. So what we're going to go do here is click on the down arrow, choose the local disk C, and inside the C drive we're going to go ahead and create a new directory. We're going to call it webdev. You don't have to call it webdev, you can call it something else. I just choose webdev for web development, and just go ahead and hit enter. And within the webdev directory, go ahead and create a new directory, call it Apache. And now you should have c:\webdev\Apache. Hit OK, and now you should see it here again, installed to this directory, and go ahead and hit next. This is where it asks you here to install. Hit install. It's going through copying the files. Okay, and it's finished. Okay, now once we've installed it, now we just need to verify and make sure that it's working properly here. To do that, we're going to go to the web browser, and we're going to type in localhost, and we're going to hit enter. You get a message like this. That means it works and you're all set with that. Now, one thing I would recommend is that you make a bookmark of your web page here, so for future access, easy access, you can just come right to it. I put mine here under the toolbar, and I'm going to just name it localhost. So now if I'm browsing somewhere and I just want to come back to the localhost, I just click on the link and there it is. Okay, we can just go ahead and close out of that. Another thing I wanted to show you was the little icon here on the system tray. This is your Apache service. If you double click it, you'll see the Apache services which are currently running right now. You can stop it or you can restart it. So if you make any changes in the future, which will be covered in the other video for PHP on how to install it under Windows XP Professional, you will see exactly when you would use this restart feature. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of it. And another thing I wanted to show you is the actual directory where you're going to have all of your web content, which is under the C drive web dev folder under the Apache directory. And inside the Apache directory, you're going to have all your files, folders as well for the Apache web server. And inside of this, you're going to have an htdocs folder. This htdocs folder contains the directory of where you're going to store all of your web content. So right now, you don't need all of these files because eventually you're going to be placing your own files in here, but you can delete them. And that's basically it. This index file is the actual file that's being displayed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like using Notepad 2, which is a free editor you can download off the internet. And basically here is the same message that you saw when you tested the Apache server there. It says it works, and that's just letting you test it so you'll see that it works. But you can always modify this, edit this file, or you can just delete it and create your own file. It's not something that you need. But we close out of that, and that basically concludes our video on how to install, configure, and verify the installation of an Apache web server. If you have any comments, suggestions, feel free to leave them, and thank you for watching this video.